Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Bitcoin market review for September 30th, 2022. And again, before I get into the trade setups and into the price action, I want to put your focus to the economic calendar. And especially this one, like this line right here, because it shows, okay, there was a high impact news event for US dollar at 8:30 a.m. yesterday. And if we look at the price action, we can see at 8:30 price started to shoot down like it really did. I'm gonna show you on the 1 minute in a second. Like it shot down, ran the lows, took the liquidity from below. It let people believe that okay, price is going lower. But what it did is it shot down and then reversed and took out the highs. So it put everybody, or it put retail traders on the wrong side of the market and then took the money, more or less. Like shot down, took out the lows, took the liquidity from here, and then ran the highs. So what that did is, first there might be orders here for going short if the lows are broken, would be limit orders, they would be filled. And what's more is that there are, so that's sell orders right here. The same is for when there are longs. Stop losses would be placed right here. If the stop loss gets hit on a long, it's a sell as well. So these are all sell orders and they can be paired with buy orders. So smart money pushes price down, gets all those sell orders to combine their buy orders with, and then they take out the highs. And above these highs, there are first sell stops, like if you went short right in here somewhere, you probably would put your stop loss above here. Or on the other side, if you want to go long, if it breaks out here, like breakout traders, they would put their limit order above that. And they can pair their longs when they sell them. Let's say short order, they can pair their sells with the buys up here. So that's why smart money first pushes the price down to get the liquidity down here, and then it pushes up above where there's liquidity, where they can get rid of the position. So yeah, that's just the impact of high impact news events. And I said I would show you the 1 minute, and here is the 1 minute. As you can see, 1 minute will probably be zoomed in like this, and then 8:30, bam, it shot down. Prior to 8:30 it first ran up again, and then like it shot down. A lot of volatility, shot down, and then you see quite volatile candles, which we usually have after quite a big drop. So with a big drop, volatile candles, and it starts to consolidate a bit. It takes a bit to really consolidate, or to really recover. That's what I want to say. For price to recover, for price to settle, and then eventually it starts to reprice higher and take out the highs. Okay, so that's what I just wanted to say regarding high impact news events and what they can do to price. And now it's time to get into the trade setups. And the first one is, again, right around 2 o'clock in the morning, which, as we've seen, is quite a good time for Bitcoin. So what we have here is, let me see, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a longer setup. It took quite some time to build, but what we have here is, actually, is it visible on the 5 minute? Yeah, it is kind of. I like it more on the 3 minute. I'm gonna show it to you on the 3 minute. So what we have right here, from this low up to this high, as you can see, I mean, it took quite a while, like a curve, and then it came back down in here. There's a fair value gap right here. So let me draw that out. There is a fair value gap right here. And am I able? Yes, I am able to draw it out. And it's just below the 0.5 level, so it's in a discount. And what price did is it started to consolidate a bit, then reverse dropped back down into a discount, filling this fair value gap, respecting this candle right here. Like the bodies of these candles respect this candle, because like that's an order block right here. As you can see, perfectly respects it, and then it starts to reverse and take out that high and fill this imbalance right here. Like there's a huge imbalance here on the left side, which it then rebalances. It doesn't take out that high, but we get to that later. It does take that out eventually in yesterday's price action. So that was the first setup. Again, setup in between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's a very good time for setups on Bitcoin to form. And the next setup is an hour later, pretty much. Yeah, we have it right here. And wait, actually it's here somewhere. Yeah, I see it. And I mean, not the cleanest, because it's quite clustered right here, but first I'm gonna show to you that we had a market structure shift right here. Like we had a high and then it broke this low, so it made a high, broke the low, and this is exactly the setup ICT teaches on his YouTube membership. Sorry about that. Mentorship is what I meant. His YouTube mentorship. So we have a high broken and then volatility displacement with a market structure shift. This leaves behind a fair value gap. Further, we pull out the fib tool. There we go. So what we have a market breaks this high, takes the liquidity, then reverses with displacement, takes out this low with a market structure shift. We're now looking for shorts. Price runs back up into the fair value gap, which is in a discount, and then price starts to sell off again. Taking out this low, taking out this low, taking out this low, and filling the fair value gap right here. So that's a nice and easy and quick setup on the 1 minute. And yeah, it's just a very nice setup, and exactly like the ones ICT teaches in his YouTube mentorship. So from this setup we go back to the 3 minute, and we go just shortly before the drop at 8:30. Yeah, right here. So this is where we had the 1 minute setup just a moment ago, and price starts a downtrend from here. Starts to rebalance those imbalances here, and right here we have a low to a high, and then price starts to sell off with quite big candles. So we have a continuation of the downwards trend. We have a fair value gap, or rather, yeah, there's a tiny fair value gap here, so 2 fair value gaps if you want. And we pull out the fib tool and we see what price did. First, I mean, it broke this low, it continued a downtrend, so we were still looking for shorts. Price then pushed back up into the fair value gap, which is in a discount. The bodies of the candles right here respect this order block. These 2 up close candles are order block, and if I put the cursor exactly on the bottom of this candle, we can see that the candles which pushed back into the fair value gap, they respect the order block. It's not perfect. If I zoom in, you can see it went in there. I mean, actually no, it is perfect. It is perfect. I stand corrected. It is perfect. So as you can see, price pushed back up, filled the fair value gap, respected the order block, which everything happened in a discount, so that's very nice. And then price sold off again, going for the imbalance which has not yet been filled right here. So if we look at it, Let me draw that out. So that would have been the imbalance which was not filled yet, or which was left over. And also it took out this low right here. This tiny low. I'm gonna just, sorry. This low, I'll just show to you. It took out that low, and then eventually it dropped even lower with the 830 move going really down. So nice setup on the 3 minute, and we jump up one time frame to the 5 minute, and there's a setup right next to it. Like we had our setup right here at like 6:30, and now there is a setup at 7:30, which is right next to it. Again, continuation of the downwards trend. Which one do we take? It drops down to this one. That's the one we want to take. And it would also be visible on the 3 minute, but I just want to show you the setup on the 5 minute because I think it's a little bit cleaner. So we have continuation of the downwards trend, breaking this low. Price leaves behind a fair value gap in here. Fair value gap is in a discount. Price then pushes back up, fills the fair value gap in the discount, probably goes for some more fair value gaps on a lower time frame. Actually, let me check that. Yeah, on the 3 minute the fair value gap goes up a little bit higher, and on the 3 minute you can see there's an up close candle which it respects. It just goes into it but not through it, and then it starts to sell off again, taking out this low right here and attacking this it filled it. It perfectly filled this fair value gap. If you look at it, perfectly filled it. So that was very nice. And then we had the 830 price action, where price first started to push up and then crash down in a volatile move. And in this area right here, I believe there is a setup on a lower time frame. Let me check that. On the 1 minute, yes there is. Yes there is. So this was the high of the high where the entry could have been for the 5 minute trade setup we've just seen, and we see price starts to move low again. I mean, we have a low here which price takes out right here, starting a downtrend or continuing the downtrend, and then it really starts to move down here, and it leaves behind a fair value gap right here. Actually let me take this one, and it starts to fill it. I mean, it moves into it, breaks down, and then moves up again through it, and it respects this up close candle right here. So the closes or the bodies of these candles respect the body of this candle, which is the order block. Beautifully done in a discount again, and then price really starts to move lower. Let's go to a higher time frame just that you can see. That was the setup from here, and we still had this low yet to be broken. That's why you could have gone for this trade setup. As we have not yet broken this low, we expect price to go there, and so that's why this was a very nice setup, as we still had to push lower, but price filled this fair value gap in a discount, and then it moved lower. And this was all prior to 8:30. Like, when you know there's a high impact news event coming, you should not like trade the high impact news event, as they are very volatile. Then we have the 8:30 breakdown. Price is quite volatile right here, starts to consolidate, take some time to settle, and then eventually its price starts to reprice higher, and yeah, the algorithm is really pushing it higher. And in this push higher, there are a couple of setups, like continuation setups, like when you already have the established upwards trend, more or less. So as you can see, volatile price movement, price settles, and it starts to push up. I mean, first push up is after 9:30, like at 9:30, price moves down again, then starts to push up. We have the first market structure break, moves back down, and then it really starts to go upwards. And I'm gonna mark this. So again, we have a break of this high, so this means we have an uptrend, means we are looking for longs. We pull out the fib tool from the low to the high, and right here you could use this low, it doesn't really matter. And what we can see is we have quite a big fair value gap right here, which extends into the discount area. And what price does, it pushes up, consolidates a bit, pushes back down into the fair value gap, goes into a discount, touches this downwards closed candle, which is an order block, with a high of 19,311, and this has a low of 19,310. So it just touches it and then it shoots off to the upside. So that's a very nice continuation entry of the just created uptrend with a target. I mean, we have still this fair value gap right here. Let me draw that out. Oh, not what I want. There we go. First target, and then the second target is this high. Very nice target, and then like there are multiple highs. Price takes one after the other. So that's the first setup right at the start of the uptrend, and then we have a couple of continuation entries a little bit later, with this one being a continuation entry. So we have a little bit of consolidation here, and we take the low of this consolidation and the high of this. And in this up move, there was a fair value gap left behind, which is quite deep in a discount. And what you can see, what price does is, I mean, it pushes up, then it starts to trickle down, like moves down into the fair value gap in a discount, and then moves up, goes back down into a discount once more, back to a discount once again, and then it really starts to shoot off. It really starts to go higher here. So that's a continuation entry. And you see, like when price really starts to reprice into a direction, you see such continuation entries form, I don't want to say quite often, but regularly. So that's just very nice, very good price action, and yeah, it gives you a chance to enter. We have another continuation entry up here. Again, a little bit of a consolidation here. Price consolidates. We take the low of the consolidation to this high, and what you can see is price pushes up, and in this up push it leaves behind like a couple of fair value gaps, which are then filled on the down move again, like when price goes for the discount. And there's even one in here, and I think price actually doesn't touch that one. 62, 63, no, it doesn't touch that one. But what price does, it pushes up, fills these fair value gaps on the move down, moves into a discount, moves out of the discount, and then touches the discount once more prior to really to shooting off once more. And if we go in a higher time frame, we can look if I did that and then it went up higher, because on this move there were still some imbalances which it had to rebalance. Like if we go on the 15-minute, we can see like all this price action did is take out these highs and rebalance the imbalances which were still left from this downwards drop on September the 27th. So this price action was all just like rebalancing of imbalances. And then after it did that, it started to drop back down to the daily open, and so it rebalanced all the imbalances it left behind on the push up. So back to the 1 minute we go, and back to this setup. I mean, as I said, continuation of the upwards move, price moves into a discount, and then it moves up once more. And then we have another setup prior to lunch, and that's the last setup for the day. Like, there were no good setups after lunch. So this is the last setup we're gonna talk about, and it is right in here. So we have here a top forming, like price tops, moves back down, breaks the high once more, moves lower, fails to break this high. So from this point onwards we have a downwards trend, or we expect a downwards trend. Then price breaks this low. We now have actually, let me redraw that so we don't have the text right there. So we have the market structure break right here. It's quite a volatile down movement, so we have displacement. Again, this is the YouTube mentorship setup ICT teaches. We have a fair value gap which is left behind. Price really goes for that one. And actually I forgot the flip tool to pull that up. We can see price pushes into a discount, filling the fair value gap, out of a discount, back into the discount, out of the discount, back into the discount. And what it also does, it respects this order block. Like the bodies of these candles, they don't go into this upwards closed candle, which is the order block. They just touch the order block, but don't go fully into it. And then price starts to move lower, and prior to lunch, like, really kind of reverse most of the up move, just rebalancing and all these imbalances which were left behind. So yeah, as I said, that was the last setup for Friday, September the 30th, or the last good setup that I found. And there were no good setups in here, at least I didn't find them. Nothing I find worth showing, nothing I journal. And so yeah, but we had like a couple of setups in the morning prior to lunch. So yeah, was a good day if you respect the high impact news event. If you do not respect the high impact news event and you just look at price action and you think to yourself, oh my god, what is that candle doing here? Then yeah, it's just a pity. But that's why it's always good to have an eye on the economic calendar, just that you are aware of high impact news events and what they can do to the market and to the price action. And yeah, with that, I wish you a good weekend. I see you guys again. Have a nice one. Bye.